minute. Well, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather, whether or not. There it is.
Say hi, Joey only.
Hi, Jolie.
I'm Frankie Down. You're listening to Comedeorological Weather Report every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Atlantic. It's on Rogers Cable Access TV, Vancouver Island. Joey only is a really nice guy. It's on his YouTube channel, Caribou Weather Do. Joey only Caribou Weather Do. I'm on his podcast alongside with Brandon Houck, Brooks, Alberta, Joe Silvers, Churchill, Manitoba, and Hank from Saskatchewan, and all those guys. I'm on Joey Only Show every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Atlantic. Joey Only's a really nice man. And Joey Only used to work for Vancouver Giants Western Hockey League team. He's a big fan of Prince George Cougars. It's on CFUR 88.7 FM, Prince George, and CKUW 95.9 FM, and CFBX 92.5 FM. It's on Rogers Cable Access TV, Vancouver Island. I'm on this podcast every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Atlantic. Best luck to you. I'm Frankie Dirk. You listen to Joey Only Show every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Atlantic. Say hi, Joey Only.
Hi, Jolie only.
Hello, Prince George. All you listeners at C4 88.7 FM, and all you listeners at CKUW 95.9 in Winnipeg, CFBX 92.5 in Kamloops. Hello, and Rogers Television viewers. How about all you also on watching on the YouTube live stream right now? Good evening. This is the Comedeorological Report. I am Joey Only here with the show Comedy plus Meteorology equals Comedeorology, your show about how much the weather sucks, and lots of crappy cold weather coming up to talk about. I think we got some winter weather still, some real winter weather coming to us. There's no getting out of it this year. It's coming in for sure. We got the Comedeorologist panel here, all the different whiz kids and brainiacs and meteorologists and storm chasers and cow punchers, and of course we got Frankie McDonald here, the star of the show out there in Sydney, Nova Scotia, where all kinds of bad weather's going out there in the East Coast right now compared to how nice it is right here. So I'm Joey Only, as I said, joined with
They got a bad weather heading for the West Coast now too.
Yes. We'll talk about that in 1 minute, Frankie. Just want to also introduce Brandon Houck. He's back here after a week off last week. Mark Engels is here once again. He's not. He's also in Alberta. So we got Brandon is in Brooks and Mark is in Calgary. Hilding Donaldson, my old friend, he's in Grassy Plains, British Columbia. Mike McGregor has joined us from Winnipeg, Manitoba. There, how you doing, Frankie McDonald, the star of the show, the greatest weatherman ever? I like you so much, buddy. It's good to see you, Frankie. How's the weather so far?
And the weather, it's a lot of high winds in Sydney, Nova Scotia right now, in Halifax, in PEI, Newfoundland, New Brunswick. And it's in Maine, USA, lots of calm weather in the state of Maine is right now. Then the wind's going to die down in Sydney, Nova Scotia tomorrow. And the winds that's calm outside in Vermont, New Hampshire, and all those places. A lot of rain in southeastern United States, in Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and all those places. There's another storm developing off the coast of Carolinas, too. Then it gets a lot of rain heading for Vancouver, British Columbia this Saturday, Sunday. Snow up in the mountains. It's going to bring really windy conditions in Seattle, Portland, and Northern California as well. They got brutal cold weather hitting all the way down Louisiana next week, including snow and rain. It's going to be possible snowstorm all across South Dakota and North Dakota next week. It's going to bring really cold air, drag it all the way down to Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and even Houston, Texas, where Trey came was at. Then it got a tropical storm Sara developing. It's going to hit Honduras. It's going to do some catastrophic damage. It's going to bring high winds and heavy rain next Thursday all across Ontario, New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and all those places, Wisconsin, Iowa, Minnesota, and all those places.
Yeah, big stormy week coming up next week everywhere, eh?
In Ontario and Quebec, where Base Guy is at. Base Guy lives in Quebec. They got some really cold air wrap around.
You're not getting hit by it. Base Guy is.
I'm not getting hit by Debbie.
You're not?
Base Guy is.
Okay.
Base Guy's getting hit first, then me, next week, possible. Be prepared! Sometime in the end of November, there's a possible big snowstorm in Nova Scotia, but it's too early to tell yet. Time will tell. And I got something else to say. In West Coast of British Columbia as well. In Seattle. In Portland, all those places. There's a big storm in Oklahoma and western Texas and New Mexico next week. It's going to bring some snow in parts of New Mexico and Colorado mountains. Arizona is going to be drier but cooler down Arizona as well. It's going to bring really hot in Mexico. Lots of rain and thunderstorms going on in Central America right now. Don't drive a car to the puddles. Avoid the puddles and driving the car. Stay away from the flooded areas. Lots of rain and thunderstorms going on in Panama. Don't drive a car to the flood. Avoid the flood when you drive a car. Don't drive a car to the puddles either. Honduras, with tropical storm Sara hitting towards Honduras, is going to bring to the catastrophic damage and over 20 inches of rain there. Be prepared! It's going to bring lots of thunderstorms and rain going on in Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, Nigeria,
Costa Rica getting storms
Costa
there too.
Rica, and Panama, and all those places. Costa Rica, Panama, all those places. Lots of rain and thunderstorms going on in Amazon rainforest right now. So is Venezuela, Colombia, parts of Bolivia, parts of Ecuador, and northern Peru as well. Really dry in northern Chile right now. Lots of rain in the coastal areas of southern Chile, and snow up in the mountains in southern Chile as well. Then it gets a cold air in Falkland Islands and Neosia, Argentina. Lots of rain and thunderstorms in Rio de Janeiro, Sao Paulo, Brazil, and all those places right now. Lots of storms coming off the coast of Brazil right now. It's going to be a big, major windstorms all across Europe next week. England, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and Ireland. There's another big storm that's going to hit towards Netherlands, Denmark, parts of France, Germany, Poland, Belarus, Slavia, and Moscow, and all those places. It's going to bring really windy conditions. It's going to bring powerful winds in Stockholm, Sweden, and Helsinki, Finland, and all those places with a lot of snow to forecast next week in parts of Sweden and Finland. Winds are going to be dangerously high in Sweden and Finland. Next week's going to bring blizzard conditions too. Up in the mountains in Norway, including Finland, Sweden's going to bring blizzard conditions. Be prepared. It's going to bring powerful winds to Italy, Bosnia, Croatia, Albania, Greece, and all those places. A lot of snow up in the mountains as well. It's going to bring really windy all across Turkey. Be prepared. Romania, Serbia, and all in Ukraine. It's going to bring lots of rain in eastern Ukraine. It's going to be warmer than normal in the eastern Ukraine. And the Crimea side, and the western Ukraine is going to bring really cold and lots of snow in forecast late next week as well. Be prepared. Then it's going to warm up this weekend in Ukraine. Then the cold weather fights back. It's going to turn stormy pattern. Be prepared. The southern Spain's going to spare most of the storm. Morocco is a little bit of showers in the forecast as well. Be prepared. There's multiple storms heading towards Philippines this Saturday and Sunday coming up. Then it's going to bring a big storm in Japan next week as well. It's going to bring high winds and heavy rain in Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, and all those places. Even Sapporo, it's going to bring lots of snow in Sapporo. Changing the rain in Sapporo, Japan as well. Then you got really cold air fights back in Sapporo, Japan. It's going to bring lots of snow squalls in Sapporo, Japan as well. In Vladivostok, Russia, it's really cold. A lot of rain and thunderstorms going on in Hong Kong. It's really, really cold in Siberia, Yakutsk, Oymyakon, Norilsk, Magadan, Mongolia, and all those places as well. Lots of rain and thunderstorms going on in Indonesia right now. Cambodia, Vietnam, Laos, Thailand. They're entering a dry season now. Lots of rain and thunderstorms in Sri Lanka right now. It's really dry in New Delhi, India right now because India has entered a dry season. Bangladesh and Myanmar is now in the dry season, so it's parts of Pakistan. It's really dry in Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, Syria, Saudi Arabia, and all those places. Really dry in Arab Emirates. It's really dry in Egypt, Libya, Algeria, and all those places. There's Nigeria is entering a dry season, so it's Ghana and all those places. And it's really hot there right now. Lots of rain thunderstorms going on in Gabon, Congo, DR Congo, Uganda, and all those places. Mozambique, Madagascar, and all those places. Angola, there's a lot of rain thunderstorms going on in Angola right now. Zimbabwe, Zambia, and all those places. Mozambique and Botswana is entering a rainy season right now. Cyclone season already started in New Zealand already. A lot of you would have decided to tell me the rainy season. And down Australia, and Perth, Australia. Lots of dry weather in Perth, Australia. They're almost in the summer now. And sitting a lot of rain and thunderstorms going on this Sunday coming up. Possible large hail in parts of New South Wales, Australia, like Melbourne, Canberra, Brisbane, and Sydney. It's going to bring large hail, damaging winds, and heavy downpours in southeastern Australia. They're in the hail season, they're in the severe weather season and tornadoes.
Yeah, a big storm there south of Tasmania, eh? It'll
Really
put some
bad there.
instability even up into the desert areas.
And down New Zealand, lots of rain going on in southern New Zealand. And the cold temperatures right now there in the spring. Then they got more rain and heading for South Island, New Zealand. Auckland, New Zealand's getting rain too. So it's Gisborne with windy conditions. New Plymouth, Wellington, Hamilton, Gracemouth, Nelson, and all those places. Christchurch and those places. Got cold air, warm air fighting each other. Monday, November 18th will be the last sunset up above the Arctic Circle.
Excellent, Frankie. That's a really great world weather report. Thanks very much, man. How was your week, Frankie?
Did you hear about this? Over in China, they're building 4 cities, means buildings covered with plants and trees.
No, I didn't hear that.
China's doing that now. Planting cities.
Cities made with forests
Made
on
of
them?
plants. Building skyscrapers and plants over the skyscrapers.
Wouldn't that be nice if the world was more gardened? It's possible.
It's a garden like buildings over in China. They're doing that over there right now.
Yeah, it's possible. So, Frankie, you joined Blue Sky, didn't you?
I did a while back.
But you join all social media, don't you?
Yes.
At the end of the episode, we'll get you to tell everybody all your social medias. There's like 300 of them now. Anybody in the panel got questions for Frankie McDonald?
Yeah.
Yeah, Frankie.
Mark Ingalls does. Yeah, Mark's
I
got
do
one.
too as well.
Hey, Mark, then Mike.
All right. Frankie, what is your favorite thing to put on toast?
I just put nothing on toast.
You don't put anything on toast?
No.
All right. There you have it.
For
So
white
my
bread, untoasted. It's like the Blues Brothers there. Hey, Mike, what's going on, bud?
I'm doing pretty good actually. I wanted to ask Frankie. My aunt, she lives out by New South Wales in Coffs Harbour, just I think it's south of Sydney. Not sure where it's within about a fair distance off the west coast of Australia. What's her weather situation looking like there?
Lots of
Actually,
severe thunderstorms going on in New South Wales, Australia. This
Yes.
Sunday coming up with large hail, damage winds, heavy downpours, and tornadoes.
That low south of Tasmania is going to destabilize everything right up even in the interior of Australia, isn't it, on Sunday?
Yeah.
It's going to
Sounds
be pretty
like
bad. How big's the
Tasmania.
hail going to get, Frankie?
Lots of large hail that could smash windows and things like this.
Sounds like Tasmania is blowing up a Tasmanian devil from the cartoons.
Yeah, luckily there's no windows in most of Australia. It's just rocks and sand. Can take the hail. Brandon, you got a question for Frankie. What about you, Hilding?
Frankie, any sharks in the waters in Argentina?
They got sharks in the water in Argentina because their summer starts on December 21st. Argentina has their longest day of the year, December 21st. Hilding, what's the weather like in your area?
We got +5 tonight, which I was kind of surprised. The past couple of days, it's been, -5 overnight, but we had a fair bit of snow. I mean,
Back on Sunday, Cuba had a 6.8 magnitude earthquake. Did a lot of damage, knocked out the power in the whole country, Cuba.
Yeah, so Frankie, that there is this story in World War II about the USS Indianapolis, how it got sunk, and hundreds of people were eaten by sharks. Hundreds of U.S. Servicemen were eaten by sharks. And people don't remember the case of the Cape San Juan, which was a cargo ship that was carrying all kinds of soldiers on it, and it got torpedoed. And the same thing happened to it, and it was something like 50 or 100 less people survived, or more people survived it. But it was several hundred. I'm trying to get the number on how many people were eaten by sharks in the Cape San Juan. More on that in a few minutes. Brandon Houck, you've joined Blue Sky because, like me, you are in Facebook jail right now.
Well, I guess Facebook detention. I can still post like once a while, but yeah, because I've been getting likes in a misleading way. Yes, that's what I got slapped on the wrist for.
What kind of gaslighting is this?
Well, in Brandon's case, it is fair because he's posting all those pictures of Dua Lipa in Singapore and Dua Lipa and who knows where. Like I get on Facebook in the morning, and like before he was in Facebook jail, the first thing I saw was Brandon Houck shares something from Dua Lipa.
What's a Dua Lipa?
Not as popular as Taylor Swift, I guess. Yeah.
Never heard of a Dua Lipa. It's like it's a human.
You would hate her music.
Okay, good. I'll pretend I didn't know.
Yep.
We haven't had a Brandon Houck report for a week, but before we do, I wanted to ask you about Boost. So we're in Facebook jail. You're in Facebook jail for trying to get likes, and I'm in Facebook jail. I was talking about how I got clean from yesterday was 52 months off alcohol, and I've been longer than that off of any kind of toxic narcotics. And I was talking about the experience, and I got, and the reason I got the restriction, Brandon, it says I was trying to sell or promote drugs. What kind of gaslighting is this? And we've been using this app for years that gaslights us and punishes us. And that's the thing that made me say, that's it today. And I'm not closing my Facebook, right? But if we use it less, eventually that's going to hurt someone's bottom line. If more and more people say, you know what, this isn't fun.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I had a similar experience. I shared something on like a overcoming group because people are overcoming some behaviors, and I shared something the same topic, the similar topic, and they said you're promoting this activity. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm trying to help people.
it's punishing you for being loyal to it, is what it is, right? And so people are dissatisfied with Twitter, and I'm dissatisfied with Facebook. I left Twitter the moment Musk bought it. And as soon as I heard it was going to be X, I was like, I'm out. I don't want this. So how do we find you on the blue sky, Brandon?
Well, yeah, Brandon Houck. I forget how it goes. Brandon Houck, something the blue sky, but it's probably under my name anyways. But yeah, joined it and felt like Twitter in the 2012 era, pretty much.
Yeah, it's started by the people who started Twitter. It's great.
Oh yeah.
It's great. Yeah, well, I tell you what, I'll follow you if you follow me.
Oh, deal.
Okay. The Brandon Houck Report.
The Brandon Houck Report.
Oh, hi. This is the Brandon Houck Report.
The Brandon Houck Report. And I got a couple of wild stories for you this week. Oh my goodness.
Uh-oh.
I got it pulled up right here, and oh man, best criminal of the week, I have to say. And we're going to Argentina, by the way, so hold on to your pants. Okay, so we are looking at the weather, and by the way, the weather has been pretty quiet here for the last couple of weeks with Chinook conditions at times. We've cooled off a little bit, and we warmed up again, and not much in the way of precipitation at all in our area. And yeah, today 13 degrees. Last week we saw temperatures get to 21 degrees. Not quite breaking the record, but one time last Friday, we were actually the hottest place in all of Canada here in Brooks, Alberta. So pretty special time indeed to get that warm weather. And yeah, in the shorts for a couple of days there throughout the last couple of weeks. And now we're going to be seeing a bit of a cool down. Oh, yes, we've got a system kind of moving its way through, kind of more so kind of a dirty high pressure system, but already we got fog developing to our north after getting up to 12, 13 degrees today. And we got a fog advisory from Red Deer right down to Hannah. And I have a feeling we'll see that fog really start to pick up in intensity tonight into early tomorrow morning, and freezing fog, rime frost, so yeah, we'll likely see all that, especially from Red Deer down to Brooks into the 15th of November there. And then, so we'll see our daytime highs kind of struggle a little bit for tomorrow compared to today. Some areas will barely get above freezing tomorrow. With the fog and the stratus that's going to be in the area. And then eventually we'll see that kind of taper off as we go through Friday with yet another Chinook arriving with the next storm on the BC coast. And that will allow for strong winds to develop Saturday into Sunday and a boost in temperature back to the teens for a couple more days. And then We take a little bit of a slide down next week, and looks like we have Arctic area of high pressure dropping in from the north, and that's going to allow for some more, well, I'd say more November-like conditions for the middle part of next week, with maybe some snow showers here and there, but temperatures are going to take a little bit of a nosedive below freezing for daytime highs next week, and then we'll also have to watch for those overnight lows dropping into the minus teens as well. So now I got a couple of wild stories. All right. So here we go. This guy is a cigarette smuggler, and what he did in Argentina is the bizarre twist in smuggling. So the Argentina police arrested a cigarette smuggler who disguised himself as a water plant. So he jumped in the river from Paraguay and on, and the man camouflaged with leaves. He had artificial plants all around him. And he jumped in the water and he floated towards. Now, this is the mistake he made. He didn't try to get away from the police. No, he floated towards the police boat on the river in this artificial plant. So he floated towards the police in the dark, pushing 20 packs of cigarettes tied to his body under the wire mesh in the water. And then officers saw the plant moving towards them, kind of like Jaws, dun, 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 and they put a light on the guy, suspiciously fast-moving plant.
It's coming right for us. Start shooting. I just started blasting.
And it revealed the smuggler, who was promptly hauled onto their boat, handcuffed, and they called him the dubbed Aquaman by social media. Smuggler will face charges after his unusual river crossing attempt in Argentina there, trying to steal.
I heard he was a plant.
He was. And then we go to as you know, we're getting into the Christmas season here, and these guys are in Whoville, They're part of Whoville. They want to be like Whoville people, and they wanted to do their noses like like people of Whoville. Have them all twisted up.
The people of Whoville have a name. They're called Who's.
Who's? Yes, Who's. That's the name I was looking for. Yeah. So there.
Where was
there's
this
a study? I think in Europe, somewhere. They're doing this. Some people want to do the nose jobs just like the Who's of Whoville, and have their nose cranked right up so that you can look right inside their nostrils. Yeah. So yeah, that's weird.
Never heard that. Yeah, okay.
Do you know what the Who's are, Joey?
Yeah,
like from How the Grinch Stole
this
Christmas.
Great rock and roll band.
Okay, the other Who's.
The other
from How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
I know, man.
You're acting like you're a little fried there.
I read that book.
The book
20 years before you were born, man.
But did they have pictures in the book?
Well, it's Dr. Seuss, so.
Yeah, the writing is I read Dr. Seuss for the articles.
Oh, for the articles. Didn't even look at the Who's, eh?
No, I looked at the Who's. I know what they look like. I'm just waiting for like the punchline of the story. So they're gonna do their noses. Did they get their noses like this? Like who?
Oh yeah, they some of them did, yeah. And it hurt.
Was this like a surgical thing that they did, or was it
pretty
like
much surgical
plaster?
Plastic surgery, surgical. Yeah.
Was it like plaster they used? Like a fake nose you get like for Halloween nose attachment?
No, it was like
thing?
cosmetic surgery. Like they they cut their head open and put a nose in it.
Oh yeah.
Jeez.
Nose implants.
Nose implants, yeah.
That's something I've never heard of before. What's next? Ear implants?
Yeah, her
So
nose.
I
is
would
big.
probably recommend the costume part, which you there, yeah.
Well, usually they get them cut smaller, not bigger. But yeah,
there you go. So now you can stare into somebody's nostril for their lives.
Well, they just do that so that they can help each other out by pointing out, oh, you got a bat in the cave.
Yeah, there you go. Oh yeah,
it's a community thing. It brings them together.
And then, well, I shall say there's this other thing going around the internet where there's this video that's going around telling everybody how to fall off a skyscraper. But I won't tell you how it all goes because pretty much how to fall off a skyscraper is just not to fall off of one in the first place. So
I'm in a skyscraper.
you're in a skyscraper,
Yes, I'm on the
Yes.
12th floor.
12th floor.
I can't remember the last time I was in a skyscraper.
I've actually been in like a dozen high rises today because Calgary has the plus 15. Like you walk through all the different buildings instead of at the street level. And
Oh, yeah.
I was out geocaching today, so I've been in like a dozen high rises today.
What's geocaching?
It's like somebody hides a box in the woods and you go find it with your GPS. I found one out of the 4 that I tried to find today, so it was not a good day for me.
What did you
There's
find?
probably
Like,
one in the Bow building
what
under
kind
that
of thing are
head.
people leaving?
Sometimes one time in like Cle Elum, Washington, somebody had one of those old AOL floppy disks where you could put it in and it'd be like you could get 500 hours of free internet or whatever. This was back when the browser charged you to use it instead of the internet service provider. That was pretty neat. Hadn't seen one of those since the 90s.
So
ever
basically,
get,
people are
like,
just leaving
free-
garbage around, and you're like going to go clean their garbage up.
Yeah.
Geocaching, have you ever with geocaching, have you ever found hundreds of dollars of money or something? It'd be awesome if you found free money.
Yeah. I think I'd be talking about it a bit more if I had.
Yeah. I think I did it once on the way to Regina with a bunch of storm chasers. We just stopped in the middle of the side of the road there. Got a couple things. We were late for the event because we were geocaching.
I've been there.
All right, well, what do you got for weather stories this week, Mark? You're on the Calgary side right now, so that must be nice. You're in a skyscraper, so that's totally crazy.
Yeah. I've been in Calgary all week. It's very nice here for November, especially. Like, it could be raining. That would be nicer. But on Monday, I think it was like 13 degrees or something. And then it's been below 10 the rest of the week, but still like we're getting close to 8 in the afternoon. Lows have been just below 0. Really can't ask for much better in Calgary in the winter or in November. On Monday, there was a tornado on the Oregon coast, Rockaway Beach, which is pretty much due west of Portland. And you go west as the crow flies, probably about 100 kilometers, you hit the ocean, and that's Rockaway Beach. They had an EF0 tornado. This was a landfalling water spout, very similar to the small tornado that was on the Sunshine Coast the week before. It was in the post-frontal environment. The ocean is warm, and so the convection is there. We get these weak tornadoes. It damaged some windows, knocked over a small tree, some fences. But EF0 winds were estimated at 135 kilometers an hour. We've talked
Did
about
throw
this.
that one soccer goal post though, pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That was the one thing that made me
Well-
think like, wow, is this a little stronger than I thought? Maybe for one gust. I
Well,
don't know what it takes to move that.
we think about an EF0 tornado and we think like, this is gonna rip off a few shingles and that's it. But if you get smacked by a goalpost, like, that might be it for you. So all of these storms, you need to be weather aware. When the weather is dynamic, you need to be aware of what's going on. So that happened. We're going to stay very active in BC. Brandon talked a lot about how it's going to impact Alberta. We've just got a train of storms coming into BC for the next week or so. I think we'll have a gap tomorrow. We're recording this on November 14. So tomorrow's November 15. It's Friday.
I always forget to say that.
I always remember like midway through, like, oh yeah, I should say that. So it's November 14. I think we're gonna have a break in BC tomorrow, just in time for me to fly home. But then this weekend's gonna be real wet. Next week we just got storm after storm coming in. We're gonna have the wind again. We're gonna have a chance of weak tornadoes. It's not like every time this chance exists we get one, but they are common in the Pacific Northwest this time of year. This is our sort of tornado season. We kind of get two, one in the spring and one in the fall. So that's going to happen, and then the really big story, Frankie touched on it. Tropical Storm Sara is heading towards Honduras. It's probably pretty close to there now, and it's just going to park there along that north Caribbean coast of Honduras, and that's a very mountainous region. And those mountains, we're talking about like up to 1,000 millimeters of rain this weekend. Like that's obscene. Now it's not going to be 1,000 millimeters of rain on the beach because it's going to be up in the mountains with that enhanced. We call it orographic lift. It's the enhanced lift from the terrain. But 1,000 millimeters in one weekend, like the landslides, the flooding that's going to happen, it is going to be catastrophic. And of course, we all know that Honduras is a very poor country. Like this is their worst case scenario in that part of Honduras. It's not like the entire country, Tegucigalpa, which I just butchered, but that's the capital, and they're even going to have quite a bit of rain, but not 1,000 millimeters. It's going to be a big problem. And then Monday, so it's approaching, parking for the weekend, and then on Monday it moves off towards the Yucatan Peninsula. I think we're gonna, we don't get a lot of news out of Honduras anyway because it's not, it's not a world power or anything. But I think we're gonna see some very tragic stuff out of Honduras this weekend.
I'm seeing lots in the models, 500, 600s, like even on conservative models are showing extreme in those mountains. And we've seen these stories in Honduras many times before, and I think you really kind of woke my memory as to how many times I've seen this sort of thing over my lifetime.
Yeah. And it's there'll be isolated amounts over 1,000 millimeters, like a full meter of rain. And for the imperialists, that's 40 inches of rain. That's as much rain as like Seattle and Portland average in a year. And they're getting it in a weekend. Like this is just.
Is that like the amount of flooding that they would get in India during their monsoons?
I don't think it would rain. Like it rains a lot in India during the monsoons. That's a really good question. I don't think in most circumstances it's raining that much in this short of a time period. Normally you would need a tropical cyclone parked in one location, and like the difference is this is going to be raining straight for the whole weekend. Whereas in a monsoon season, you would typically in India and Vietnam and whatever, you'd typically start the day sunny, and then you'd have afternoon thunderstorms, and then you'd dry off into the evening. It's not raining for days on end.
Icon model showing upwards, 940 in places and plus up on the coast of Honduras and whatnot, while showing Nicaragua with nothing. Like it looks really
right.
Interesting.
Well, right. Well, Nicaragua is southeast of Honduras, right? Yeah. So that's
south and southeast.
Right. So this storm, it seems like the precipitation is biased kind of towards the west side of it. Like there's going to be some east of the center, but it doesn't extend very far east of the center as it does west of the center.
It's like slapping on the north side.
And then just before I go to bed here, I just want to pitch the podcast because I remembered the date and now I remembered to do the podcast. So you can find it on Spotify, Apple something, Amazon, the other thing, and Castbox. It's Apple Podcasts and Amazon Music, and I almost mixed them up. Anyway, just search Comedeorological Report. You can find us there. You can find me on Blue Sky, Ingalls WX. You can find me on Mastodon, Ingalls at mstdn.ca.
That's the other thing I was going to ask you and say to you. I think you guys it was you and Hank and Brandon talking in the group chat about Blue Sky 2 days ago, and I was like, "What's this?" Like 1 million people have joined it, and you tell me that the people who started Twitter started this. So like Elon comes and buys them out. They're like, sweet, we got all this money. What should we do? Let's start another Twitter.
Yeah, let's just. All right, I'm gonna do it again.
And then everyone's gonna bail from Twitter and go to Blue Sky, and then Elon's gonna have to buy it again.
I think it's really good that social media is fragmenting like this. You know, these companies have had a monopoly for so long of a time. I think it's good that we see diversity in that market.
I think so, and it's like it's nice to like what I've noticed on the Blue Sky is it seems to be a lot of, you know, what my detractors seem to think are the lunatic left, but it seems to be a lot of academics, a lot of environmentalists, a lot of photographers, artists, intelligentsia, intellectuals.
Yeah, well,
you know,
we'll see. This kind of feels like the honeymoon phase. We'll see if it lasts.
the thing is, like, if that
I think I
reaction from that
overheard-
one guy today, sorry, Mike, that reaction from that one guy today, you saw his react. He unsubscribed because of, you know, my MAGA rant. He said, you know, was unsubscribed, and he said, you and all your, and he used a whole bunch of expletives and the words that I find very inappropriate, not just to say on Rogers TV, but to say in general. Words I find inappropriate to say, and he's like, you and all that, you all go over to Blue Sky, then all you bunch of lunatic bleep 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 bleep, right? And it's like, well, if that's the perception they have, are they going to come over?
Right.
Just like
Well,
I
and
didn't
do
go
we-
to Truth Social. I was like, oh, a brand new social media. I think I'll
Do we
join it.
do we want the angry people? You know, like, yeah,
I'd be fine if
it's
they
nice for
don't
now.
come.
It's nice for now, but I'm also not getting paid by them to, you know, advertise for them. So
Fair enough. I don't think I'm advertising, but I guess maybe I'm inadvertently advert.
there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, I do have one story tonight.
It's because
by
I
the
want
way.
people to come to my Blue Sky and help me get away from Facebook. That's all. I'd like.
I do have one story real quick. Alicia texted me and she said that she took a nap. She had some tooth work done today. She said that she took a nap and then Acalia came in, woke her up and said, I was trying to make toast, but I think I did it wrong. And she says the adrenaline from that, she doesn't think she's going to be able to sleep at all tonight. It turns out all that happened was she didn't turn it on.
You
So
just put it in there and waited.
yeah, so but my wife was concerned that she had started a fire or something. But when I was her age, like I'm pretty sure my parents had to buy a new microwave when myself and all my siblings reached that age, you know, put a fork in the microwave. This is that stage of childhood.
So
My
when
first
I did-
experience with electricity was a fork in the toaster.
My experience when I was 3 years old, I put a key in an electrical outlet. My mom was pregnant with my two brothers at the time, and I tripped a breaker, and she came downstairs and what? I have black mark on my fingers.
Well, at least you tripped a breaker and didn't kill yourself.
So this one probably tops it all. But yeah, it was high school, and I was
That's too late to be making stupid choices like this.
high school, and I guess I was tired or something. I don't know, something like that. I was not thinking that day, and we had like leftover burgers from the day before or something for lunch special or for a cheap price, you know. So I was like, oh, sweet, leftover burger. And next thing you know, it's like, oh, it's all cold and stuff. What do I do with this? Oh, I'll just plonk it in the microwave. Well, I didn't.
Was
take
it in the
wrapper
foil
off.
wrap?
It was in the
Yeah.
foil wrap, and I was looking in the microwave, and all I could see is zap, zap, zap. There's lightning storm going on in the microwave, and I was just like, "Oh, that's not good." And
And that
turn it
is
off.
how Brandon Houck got into the weather.
That's right. That's how I got in the weather.
Frank, you ever stick a fork in a light socket?
No.
Now, what I used to like doing was walking along the electric fence with your townie friend, and you put your arm on him and say, I love you, buddy, and grab the fence. Give him a nice shock.
Yeah, I've done that.
Hey, Hilding, you know all about that. How's it going, cowboy?
We're having warm weather again. I mean, we had 2 or 3 days of real heavy wind back last Friday, and that strange storm that took out all our power, and it all came back. And we had a bit of snow Monday, and then, like I said, seemed like a lot of snow, but it was only about 3 inches and then it quit. And now it's almost all gone again. But slowly it's feeling more like November. We're starting to give the cows a little bit of hay, but they don't really want to come and eat it much. They're the little bit of snow and rain that we're having is making the dry grass in the swamp more palatable, so the cows will eat it more. So they're cleaning up the swamps and stuff. So, and we don't have to give them water. That's nice.
Well, that's good. And then you don't have to use a lot of hay yet either.
No, I don't have to use a lot of hay. They've been putting out a bale every 2 days, and they burn and eat it. So,
how was your hay season this year? I mean, the rains came.
well, I mean, like where we got 5 bales last year, we got about 100 this year, but we should get 500. You know, I mean, it's way better than last year. We still had to buy 6 loads of hay, and that's to get 100 cows through the winter.
And you have to get that hay. Like, are you getting it locally, or are you getting it from over the ferry?
Yeah, we haul it over the ferry. We haul it from Vanderhoof usually.
That's wild. That's wild. Where do you get your hay from, Frankie?
Hay is that's out in the farm.
Yeah, well, Hilding's having to buy it from other farms because he can't get enough hay on his own farm.
From
I
Alberta.
live in Sydney, Nova Scotia. There's no hay anywhere nearby me.
Hey, Joey and the gang. This is Justin with the Weather Center of Manitoba, and I'm so sorry I couldn't be on the show. Life gets busy sometimes, but thought I'd give you this spooky, cool view here outside my place here in Brandon, Manitoba. Got the full moon shining up here alongside the fresh display of Christmas lights I just put up onto our house a few days ago, getting ready for Christmas. Anyway, it's a beautiful night, still above freezing here at 10 o'clock, at about +2 right now. Big pattern change is coming to southern Manitoba. In fact, all of Manitoba. It starts tomorrow across northern Manitoba. We have a bout of snow headed up for Flin Flon and Lynn Lake and Thompson, and headed up towards Joe Stover up there in Churchill. There'll be a few centimeters of fresh snow and some cooler temperatures. And then southern Manitoba's turn comes on Saturday, starting Saturday afternoon and continuing throughout Saturday evening into Saturday night, and tapering off Sunday morning. Parts of southwestern Manitoba, including the city of Brandon, including Verdon, Oak Lake, and just that southwest corner of Manitoba could be in for a good 5 to 10 centimeters of snow, the first snowfall of the year. Then we get a little push of warm air for early next week, Monday, and then we get some cooler temperatures and could be a potential major snowstorm coming for Tuesday, Wednesday next week across southern Manitoba and the northern Great Plains of the United States. Too early to say the amounts of snow possible with that because we don't know where the low pressure system is going to set up, but whoever gets that system could be in for 20 to 30 centimeters of snow. And then on the backside of that low later next week, we'll get a push of Arctic air flood south across the prairies and the northern United States. So that's my update for you right now. Can't really see me, but have a good night, everyone, from Brandon, Manitoba.
Just dropped right now for Country Thunder in Saskatchewan. One of the leading artists is going to be Def Leppard. There you go.
Oh, gross. What has 9 arms and sucks?
Def Leppard.
Yeah.
An octopus.
No, Def Leppard. It was so bad. Remember we had the strike? No, it wasn't the strike. It was a lockout. We got to call it right. It wasn't a strike. Because a strike would be the players saying we refuse to play. No, it wasn't a strike. It was a lockout where the owners said, no, we don't have a contract. Players can't play. 2004. No hockey for a whole year. And then hockey comes back the next year. And so they have a big ceremony. Gary Bettman's got he's going to got the rock and roll band opening night of finally we got hockey again. It's going to be great. Look, and we got Def Leppard playing. And Def Leppard comes out and they hand him the Stanley Cup and he holds it up over his head while the band's playing. And then he puts it down. Upside down. Upside down. And it's like, and I thought, wow, NHL, you couldn't find a band that knows less about hockey?
Vancouver Island had high winds and heavy rain back on Tuesday.
Yeah, they had some
don't
record
forget the Grey
breaking.
Cup this weekend too, Frankie, right?
My videos are coming up.
The
Plus, my
videos are
dad
coming up,
played the song
Frankie.
viral.
I'm ready for Frankie video. You guys ready for Frankie video?
Yes.
Sure.
There's a major windstorm and a lot of rain heading towards Vancouver Island, especially on Tuesday evening in Vancouver Island on Tuesday, November 12th during the evening in Vancouver Island, including Victoria, British Columbia, Sauk, British Columbia, Colwood, British Columbia, Saanich, British Columbia, Port Renfrew, British Columbia, Duncan, British Columbia, Ladysmith, British Columbia, Nanaimo, Perksville, Quimicon Beach, Portaboni, Tofino, Courtney, Comox, Campbell River, Portlandville, Port Hardy, British Columbia. It's going to bring really windy conditions. It's going to bring so windy, wind-driven rain and sideways rain, especially on Tuesday evening on November 12th. Be prepared. Umbrella will not be powerful enough for a wind because the wind's going to be really powerful. I urge everyone to stay away from the beaches and don't go near shores of Vancouver Island because the waves are going to be really big. Don't drive a car to the puddles. Avoid the puddles when driving the car. When you go for a walk, don't walk to the puddles either. Don't walk too far because winds are going to be really strong in Vancouver Island, especially in Victoria, British Columbia, and Nanaimo, British Columbia on Tuesday evening. Be extra prepared. Take care. Stay safe. Don't get caught in a major storm. Be safe.
And you know what I like, Frankie? I like this right here. See this? Oh, wait.
Stay dry.
Oh, I thought I had it on. The draw. Watch this. See this right here? It says Maple Leafs. That's great. Where'd you get that?
Somebody in the household owns it.
Ah, I see. Okay, how do I turn the thing off now?
My latest dad song is viral. I did a video on that. My dad made his latest song on his SoundCloud, Mystic Mist. The title is Song is Viral. My father played the guitar all by himself. He played the guitar all by himself. He wrote his own song. And he recorded his own song. He wrote his own lyrics. And the latest song is viral. That's the title of his song on the SoundCloud, Mystic Mist. My dad did a song all by himself. He made a song all by himself. He played the guitar all by himself. Wrote his own lyrics and played the guitar all by himself and recorded his own song, master it, and things like this. And that's the original song, viral.
Aw, I like your dad so much, Frankie. How's he doing?
He's doing great.
He's doing great, Mike. Oh,
He's writing more music.
he is, yeah. Well, if you talk to him over in if he's checks in there, he calls you from Halifax. You tell him Joey said hi. Okay, Mike's
Not
back.
this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday. I'll be on Kids Club podcast on November 28th, 27th.
Hey, okay. Maybe that's when I could come on. That'd be nice to.
Yes, you'll be on Kids Club podcast on November 27th at 7 p.m. Timmins time, 8 p.m. my time, 4 p.m. your time.
No, Jamie just turned 50 years old, didn't he?
Jamie Clump.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Jamie, the Kins and Clump podcast there in Timmins, Ontario. Great podcast Frankie's on. And sometimes Brandon and I are on too, and Imogen and whatnot. So Mike McGregor's back, and you're not frozen. Talk to us. It's going to get a little warmer, I guess, in Winnipeg before it gets nastier.
Yeah, it's been one of those falls where I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's been incredibly warm. I'm taking it in stride. Jets are doing incredibly well this year, and I think that the warmth the Jets are creating with their powerful hockey plays. Just a quick joke. I think the Jets are controlling the weather here because we got up to about 15 degrees earlier this week. Yeah, it's been incredibly unusually warm for this time here. Normally we're like about 4 or 5 degrees. Our normal high today is actually -1. And we got up to about 8 degrees today. We're going up to 10 degrees tomorrow. Our weather pattern shows about, like, on average, about temperatures about being 5 to about 10 degrees above average this time of year. And Justin and I were talking, and he's saying that there is a good potential for us getting accumulating snowfall next Tuesday. So this will be the day after the show airs. It's been so warm here. We've been getting some very dense fog at night. The ground is still quite warm, but the air itself is cooled down. So you're getting the moisture building up in the middle levels and the ground levels. So we had near zero visibility. Someone mentioned to me they were on Highway 1 west of Winnipeg yesterday, and they said that they had only about 15 meters of visibility. So I guess kind of having less sunlight hours, it's really going to impact our. We're going to have a couple more of these nights of fog, I think. But as Mark mentioned, there's going to be some storm systems coming off the coast of BC. We'll probably get them as they ride south along the trough, getting lots of bursts of California and western United States air. So, I'm surprised we don't have snow on the ground yet, and it's November 14th. This right now. The only time I remember it being like this was back in maybe 2002. 97 kind of beats that, where we had no snow till like Christmas Eve on the ground. So it's been very nice here, but I think we're going to pay for it. As Justin's mentioned, some very cold air is going to be coming in behind this system on Tuesday. 25 centimeters as possible, as mentioned by the GFS. I don't know how much we're going to get, but we're going to in for a wake-up call. And Brandon, I think both you and I are going to be in our winter jackets in a couple weeks here.
Bring it on.
So go back to this story I was telling you about that happened on November 11th, 1943. The Cape San Juan, it was this cargo ship. And it was carrying all these men across the Pacific, and it got torpedoed by a Japanese submarine. The initial torpedo killed 16 men. And they didn't abandon ship right away, but eventually they had to. And in the aftermath of the attack, 115 men would die, mostly from sharks. Can you believe that? So there's a Remembrance Day story to keep in mind, even though it's from a different country. We all know about the Indianapolis, this American cruiser that got sank, where hundreds of men got eaten by sharks, but not many people are aware of the Cape San Juan. So it wasn't a Navy vessel; it was a troop transport or something to the effect of thereof. Little Remembrance Day trivia for you there. So it's been a great episode. We got lots of great comments down there from everybody in the chat. So if people who are watching it, Joey Only Caribou Weather Dude, appreciate it very much. Frankie, what are you going to do this weekend? What's your big plans, buddy?
Karaoke this week. It's a Saturday coming up.
What song are you going to sing? You going to sing Peaches?
We did Start the Fire by Billy Joe and Peaches by Presidents of the United States of America. This Sunday, I get an interview with Jason Marshall. We Don't Have Cookies, 1 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Atlantic. Jason Marshall, We Don't Have Cookies podcast. Jason Marshall's not doing the show on December 1st because of American Thanksgiving. He told me that.
Oh, yeah, American Thanksgiving, yeah. This weekend I got the kids here, and Waylon broke his arm last weekend playing with his friend, I guess, and his mom sent me a picture, said, we're in the emergency room, and it was my one weekend off, and I was like, look what happens when I take a weekend off. No, and so he's doing fine. He's going to have his cast on for 2 or 3 weeks, I guess, and they're here right now because their mom's at a conference, and they're over with Josh playing Minecraft and stuff right now. Over on the other side of the lodge here. So the other owner, he's got his house inside of. We got several houses inside this building. It's hard to explain unless you live here. Yeah. What about you, Brandon? You got hockey games going on?
Yeah, we got one hockey game going on this weekend, and then next week it's gonna get pretty busy as I guess somebody's celebrating a birthday next week. Oh my goodness!
Like when it broke Spanish players.
Oh no, that would be me celebrating the birthday next week.
How old this time, Brandon?
29 again. So yes, that's going on next week. And then, by the way, I'm going to be in a parade next Thursday, and there's going to be fireworks for my birthday. So it's perfect. No, it's probably for Santa Claus, but I'll be in the parade anyways. I'll say it's for my birthday. And then next
the
Friday,
Brandon Houck birthday parade in Brooks, Alberta. You should.
There you go.
You should put that on your social media though. At the time, like I'm at the Brandon Houck birthday parade.
Just ensure you don't get anybody driving into a fireworks shop, because I saw a video of a car that drove into a fireworks shop and all the fireworks lit up, caught fire, and explosion of fireworks.
That sounds like something I have to do.
Only Joey, the firefighter, would do something like that.
Hey, let's not bring that into this. Oh, yeah, good point. Okay, no. Okay, all right. Hilding, you got plans this weekend?
Oh, tomorrow night I'm going to an open mic and I'm gonna play some songs and my son's in the area, and I got to spend some time with my granddaughter last night. That was nice.
Oh yeah, well tell Charlie hi if you see him there for me.
Well, it's Colin that was here now, Colin and his little girl.
The wrong kid. I don't know that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's good. Well, you have a great weekend. It's going to be really good.
Yeah.
Frankie, so you have 50 million social medias, don't you? How many do you have now? Like a lot, right?
I do. My blue sky is at Frankie MacD. My ex, formerly Twitter, is at Frankie MacD. My link tree is Frankie MacDonald. My Facebook is Frankie MacDonald. My Instagram is Frankie MacD984. My Threads is Frankie MacD984. My TikTok is FrankDonald984. My Clapper is FrankDonald984. My Twitch is FrankDonald984. My Snapchat is FrankABCDON. My YouTube channel stocks hosted by LinkedIn's Frankie MacDonald. I just joined Threads.
Oh, you joined Threads too. What's it like, Frankie?
It's like Twitter, but it's Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, then I'm
I
not
don't like
interested.
Threads as much as.
Best of luck there. I'm Frankie Donald. You're listening to Comedeorological Weather Report.
I've already given Zuck enough of my life. I want to unplug a little from the Zuck machine, from the Zuck suck that's going on.
I recently joined Blue Sky. Justin added accounts and he got 20 followers within about an hour, I think. He's up to past 100 on the Weather Center of Manitoba on there. So it's crazy how many people are flocking on there.
I'm at 92. I think Houck's leading the way. He's got 116 right now. He's doing really good there. He's a very popular guy. And 321 for Mark Ingalls. What the heck? He's more popular than all of us.
Mark's been there for a year.
Has he?
He's been there for a
Okay.
year already. So
I'm not bragging, but I got 1,000+ followers on South MB Weather on my Twitter.
Well, I
don't know if I
had
should
a
be
lot on my
mentioning my
Twitter.
handles though.
I had a lot on my Twitter, not a lot compared to a lot of people, but I mean, I was well on the way to having a big social media presence there, like I've had on Facebook, for years, and I'm starting to have on the YouTube here
I
now
got
too.
over
I was on the
8,000.
way, and then they're like, you know what, we're gonna call it X for now on. I said, no, I'm not doing that, and I want to remind people, I was the first person you knew who hated Elon Musk long before anyone else. I was like, that guy, I can see what's going on here. I knew it was up. I knew it. Told you so. Next week, I'll tell you more. I'll tell you some more. That's what I'll do around here. Tell you all. The way
U.S.
it is.
Thanksgiving's on the 28th.
And Frankie will tell you the way it is too. And definitely that's what Frankie does. So that's pretty much the
Americans
show
don't
this
celebrate
week.
their Thanksgiving 2 weeks from today.
2 weeks from today, American Thanksgiving, and 2 weeks from today, we got special guests coming on the show. Will be John Clark, former organizer of Ontario Coalition Against Poverty in Toronto. He's did the war on homelessness for years in Toronto, but he also wrote this great article that I want to bring to light called Climate and Class Struggle, and he's talking about how climate really disproportionately affects the poorest, and we have to have solutions socially and whatnot to be ready for all the things coming at us. Great article, and one of my mentors in life. So John Clark coming at us in 2 weeks' time on this show. That's it. I'm Joey Only, Caribou Weather Dude. You've been watching us on my live stream here on Joey Only YouTube channel, or you've been watching us on C4 88.7 FM, CKUW 959, CFBX 925, Rogers Television, Vancouver Island. Thank you very much for all you for hosting us, all your radio stations and Rogers TV. We very much appreciate it. And hope we can come back next week and make you another great episode with our panel of meteorologists. I think that's the show, right, Frankie? That's pretty much it.
Yes, that's the show.
That's the show. Brandon, time to go.
No, not time to go yet. No, we're good.
Okay, well, the live stream will continue, but that's the show.
Hey, everybody, let's do tutorial side. Breakdown.